we go. Let me just get the live stream up here. Perfect. There we go. Hello, hope everyone's doing well. I'm just going to put the link in the live here. Boom. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, NM. Hello, Leanne. Hello, Lady H. Hello, hello, hello. Let me just get back on this. Reset it. First live. Oh, nice, Tom. Well, welcome, mate. If you do have any questions throughout the live, obviously, let me know and I'll happily answer any questions. The past few lives have been... the past few, like 2-3 weeks have been fairly spot on with what we've gone over on the lives, which has obviously been really, really good. And so on the lives, what we tend to do is have a quick catch up. So first off, just see how everyone is, answer any questions, etc. Then from there, we'll get into the charts, come up with some nice levels, come up with a plan. And obviously throughout, if you do have any questions, just let me know, mate. And also let me know how the trading's going. Let me know how today has been. And yeah, let's just have a catch up, see how everyone is. Hello, Law. Hello, Narash, Chris, DZ, Ryan, Elliot, Gaz, Slow Tray. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Jordan, Craig, William. Hello, Usha. Hello, hello, hello. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, hope everyone's doing well. Hello, yeah, Miguel. I'm doing good, mate. Been a very nice day today. Obviously, last night I did post a few videos about it, but market dropped substantially on market open, which was very nice because I was in sell positions from last week. I'm still in sell positions now, and so it was really, really, really nice big drop, which is really good. And then on top of that, we had this massive reaction off this level here, which was just pinpoint perfect. And so, yeah, it's been a pretty good day, but we do have some very nice levels to mark up on tonight's live and some very interesting things to go over. So yeah, definitely interesting, super interesting price action today. Hello, Barry. First live for me, looking forward to it. Hello, mate. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing well, Dylan. Hope you're doing well, mate. And welcome to the lives. Again, on the lives, we tend to have a quick catch up, see how everyone is. Then from there, we dive into price action, answer any questions, come up with a plan going forward. And if throughout, please, if throughout, you've got any questions, something isn't making sense, just ask, and I'll happily go into detail on it. And yeah, let's just get to it. Hello, Adam. What's up there, Lady H? Evening. Hello, DB. Hello, hello, hello. First day on my funded. Missed that golden sell. Gutted, but got this nice sell from the order book myself. Nice, Matt. Very nice. Very nice. I do have a question. What is the difference between the VWAP indicator and the trading view and the embedded VWAP part of VWAP yellow line, as they both look like wiggle differently here? Yeah, it's a good visual one. So basically, there's two different types of VWAP that I use. One of them is VWAP here. It's called volume weighted average price. And this is similar to an EMA. So basically what it is it's a dynamic form of support and resistance. On a chart, technically what we are looking for is we are just looking for areas of resistance to sell and areas of support to buy. That is trading in a nutshell. And we've got a lot of static areas of support and resistance. By static, I mean areas that do not move throughout the day. A great example of that is the daily open. Once the daily open happens, it's there. It's stuck. It does not move. The VWAP is a dynamic form of support and resistance because it changes throughout the day. It wiggles up and down throughout the day. And what VWAP actually is it's volume weighted average price. So it's basically the average price weighted towards volume. So a lot of big traders and big institutions use that to get in and out of positions without liquidity issues, as there's a lot of orders at that level. Whereas the VWAP that I use on Fibonacci, which is down here, which is this yellow line, that's the normal VWAP with an algorithm performed on it to turn it into an oscillator, so it oscillates above and below 0. The one actually on the chart doesn't oscillate above and below 0. So you see the difference there? This one is a dynamic form of support and resistance, whereas the VWAP actually on the Fibonacci at the bottom, that's just an oscillator. And by oscillator, I just mean it oscillates above and below 0. So it always stays on the same scale. Welcome aboard, Simon. Yeah, definitely. 680 up, caught the big push up this morning though, was quite lucky, just happened to be in a small buy anyway because momentum was going up. Nice, Kyle. Catching that buy move up was, you've got to have some balls on you, Kyle, I'll give you that. Well done, seriously well done. Lady H, so on that front, YouTube did a few days, well, it actually asked me like a month ago, to verify like my business ID and stuff like that, so it might have something to do with that. I didn't do it for ages though, so because I'm now like a verified YouTube business, it might have something to do with that. I might be able to turn it off. I don't know how YouTube settings works really, so yeah. Okay, Lady H, I'll look into it after this. A few people saying no adverts and other people saying, so it must be user specific. And then well done, Adam. Adam in the group, so Adam support, for those who aren't in the group, you won't know. But Adam, he's a member of the support team inside the private group. So in the private group, it's not just me you gain access to. You gain access to full-time educators, and you also gain access to a support team who are there 24/7 to answer messages, hop on calls with you. And yeah, they're just genuinely amazing. And Adam is someone who's part of that support team, absolute beast. And he's always hopping on calls with members. And he's recently passed his 6 figures in funded. So now he's multi-6-figure funded trader, which is really, really nice. And he's just constantly even improving now, which is really, really cool. And something that we push for, no matter what level you are, Adam's doing extremely well. No matter what level you are, whether you're at Adam's level, whether you're at, you're just starting or whatever level you're at, you're always trying to get better, which is very, very important. You want to get better, no matter what level you're at. Clean Adam fair play. Yeah, Adam smashed it. Adam's been progressing so amazingly well. It's been amazing. Sucks to it on stage. Adam, yes, I do have that full video somewhere as well. So something cool which happened as well is at the last in-person meetup we did in London, Adam didn't know I was going to do this, but I got him up on stage in front of everyone, mainly because he's such a big part of the group. I want everyone to see him, and I want to give him that sort of spotlight, but also, it is nerve-wracking being on stage in front of however many people. It is nerve-wracking, even if you speak to, like me and Adam speak to everyone like every day, but it's still nerve-wracking in person. And so to drag Adam out of his comfort zone and put him on that stage in front of everyone and him talk so confidently was a huge milestone, and I think something that he can look back on. Yeah, so it was important that we do it for that reason as well. And I think it definitely helped Adam as well. Handle it like a pro. He definitely did. He definitely did. He did very, very well. Ryan. Well done, nice one, mate. Yeah, he smashed it. But yeah, let's go into the charts then. So obviously today, with early on when market opened, there was no signs of de-escalation, and right now we're in market conditions where if the war in the Middle East escalates, gold will come down. Whereas if the war in the Middle East de-escalates, gold will go up. Okay, so the whole gold is a safe haven when there's a lot of tension, when there's a lot of conflict, gold is going to go up. That just isn't the case right now, due to what's going on in the sort of macroeconomic environment, which I think is really interesting, because this move up here, again, gold, the safe haven asset, spiked to the upside when Trump came out and said that he was in talks with Iran and things were going very well. That's super, super interesting. And so again, if the war continues to escalate, which I think it will, gold is likely to come down. If it's de-escalating, then gold is likely to go up. So let me know if that makes sense, and we'll move forward from there. But it's important to get that distinction and the reasoning behind that, because that is super important to gauge your bias and to know what gold wants going forward. It's very, very, very important. And we can also switch over and look at the one second. Let me just switch this. So, I'm gonna get the. There we go. Perfect. So we can bring up the daily reports later as well. Yeah, whoever asked about the VWAP, I think Kyle. Yeah, there's a great VWAP video on the YouTube description, on the YouTube channel, which is really, really good, and I recommend watching that. Cade, I completely agree. I think the current situation is super, super interesting because, like, if you haven't looked into sort of fundamentals before, then it's quite confusing why gold is moving up when things are de-escalating and why gold's moving down when things are escalating. But when you really look into it, it obviously makes a lot of sense. So yeah, it's really interesting with what's going on right now. Matt, an event not in the near future, but we will be doing another one. But again, not in the near future. We've kind of just finished the last one, which was an amazing success. For those who don't know, we had well over 100 members turn up in London. We did an amazing event. It went off flawlessly, and it was really, really amazing. Only group doing in-person events, which is cool. Yes, Clouts. So, and by the way, let me know if you liked the analysis, the fundamental analysis that I brought out on Friday, which still does hold true. But no, this level now is invalid. We've hit the level. We got a nice reaction. We're done with that. But let's start off with looking at what's going on fundamentally. So gold is even more bearish, sorry, than it was yesterday. GBP JPY is extremely bullish as well. USD JPY is extremely bearish, which is very, very interesting. So we can take a look at what's going on here. So this is some software which is going to be available to those in the private group, which makes it very easy to get that fundamental analysis. Something which I put in the private group today, actually. Which is really important. A lot of people naively think asking ChatGPT or some sort of AI platform, what's the bias? And because ChatGPT can look at whatever, that's wrong. Like, ChatGPT over the past few weeks will have told you, well, it did tell you, if the war continues, gold will go up. ChatGPT was saying that. But how come gold came down when the escalation was happening? It's not good at gauging fundamental bias, okay? But from here, we can see that gold is even more bearish than it was yesterday. And again, this is some private software which is going to be available inside the private group, only group that's gaining access to this. And I would like to really highlight how valuable this is. Like, this level of analysis you really can't find anywhere else. Like, this is super high level. This isn't like AI. People are actually, like, we have a team writing these reports. Like, this is, you're getting a team of analysts to do this. Like, this is super next level stuff. And so we can see here, gold is undergoing a historic correction with 9 consecutive sessions on a decline, reaching its lowest level since early January at $4,350 per ounce. It actually went a bit below that. Blah, 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 blah. Basically, key drivers, Fed hawkish pivot, we knew that. Central bank liquidation risk, we knew that. Real yield surge, we knew that. Geopolitical premium collapse, we knew that as well. And so, risk to watch out for, unforeseen military escalation in the Middle East. The rest of it we don't really have to look out for. Trying to see. Okay, yeah, that's pretty all good. But yeah, gold's very bearish right now. Yes, Dylan, these lives do get saved. Let me know if you want me to Real intelligence. I like that. Yeah. Even if it made £100 go into £2,000 today. I much like how quick the market moved today. Also, Mr. Trump lying again in talks with Iran. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. He definitely did. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw the insane volume before the huge move up. There was definitely some insider trading today. Like, some huge insider trading today. Matt, yes, it's going to be part of that as well. 100%, Adam. 100%. And so this is really, really cool. So again, these reports are done daily. So this is the daily report section. And then also you gain weekly reports up here, which is nice. And then you also gain other fundamental factors as well. But if you want to be a bit more advanced and you want to look into each of these, so for example, you wanted to know what each central bank was doing. Let's say, okay, I'm trading GBP USD. Okay, I want to know what the GBP is like. Okay, then I can go into here, I can click on the Bank of England and I can look, okay, what's the real rate? What's the interest rates looking at? What's the CPI looking like? What's the GDP growth? What's unemployment looking like? Etc, etc, etc. I can see when upcoming releases are. These are the things which are actually moving the market, okay? And so you can come and look at that. But if you want to keep things very basic, you go into reports, you check out the daily reports, you look what pairs are most impacted. For example, if you trade gold, we can see here, okay, gold, 9 out of 10, very, very bearish. You're looking for sell positions. The reason why it's bearish in here, very, very nice, means that you're going with, not only you're going with the trend, you're going with the true market drivers, which is super important. Hello, Steve. Daniel. Yeah, it's going to be good. And this is just one of the things. This is actually one of the smaller things. Like, this is a really cool thing that's coming out on the 31st. But there's also something else which is coming out, which is even bigger. The second thing, which is even bigger, it's going to take some improvements over time. But it'll come out and it's going to be really good, but it's going to get better over time. So, yeah. Oh, nice, Hainsey. Really, really good. Video today didn't look like a... What do you mean, Alan? Which video? Which video are you on about? Yeah, the day's going to be really, really good, Matt. It's going to be really, really good. This is here on the 31st. But yeah, let's dive into price then. So again, fundamentally, we are very bearish right now. This is for a few different reasons. We're kind of flipped on its head. So the reason why gold moved up so heavily towards the end of 2025 was because the market was anticipating rate cuts. Now, when the rates are cut, this increases the risk of inflation. Gold is a hedge against inflation. Therefore, gold goes up as people flow money. Basically, people's money flow into gold to hedge that inflation risk. But now that the rates don't look like they're being cut and the market's pricing in a 50% chance of rates being actually increased, which strengthens the US dollar and which isn't good for gold and is actually bearish for gold, the fact that the market is now pricing that in means that gold is going to come down further. On top of that, the price of oil absolutely skyrocketing and continuing to go up. Oil is priced in US dollars. So if a country, for example, Italy, wants to buy oil, they first need to buy US dollars and then use those US dollars to buy oil. But because oil is more expensive now, they need to buy more of those US dollars. And supply and demand, the demand has gone through the roof, and therefore the strength of the US dollar has got very strong, and we're trading XAU versus the US dollar. And so if the US dollar gets really strong and gold stays neutral or even gets a bit stronger, but not as strong as the US dollar, then the pair comes down. And that's basically what we're seeing. And so we anticipate that to continue further as the conflict escalates. And even if the conflict doesn't escalate, with unlikely rate cuts, it seems like gold is going to continue down as well. And so let's mark up some more levels. So again, really nice level there. Let me move this here. And by the way, I'm still open to hedging against sell positions with buy positions to reduce risk and squeeze the most out of each position. Let me move this here. But just on the whole, I'm going to be looking for sell positions. Know that's definitely interesting. So if oil goes up, we can expect gold to drop partially. Yeah, clouts. Yeah. So basically, if to very simple, when you go to the petrol station, okay, you can see that the price of petrol, the price of diesel is absolutely astronomically high. Okay, this is because oil is obviously going through the roof. Now, oil is priced in US dollars. And so if oil goes up, let's say Italy, I don't know why I'm using Italy. Let's use Germany. I feel Germany's a better one. But let's say, Germany. Germany's got a huge, manufacturing, you've got all of the big car, the huge automotive industry in Germany, okay? They need a lot of oil, okay? For their economy to function, okay? For them to export their goods and for them to, continue to grow as an economy, they need manufacturing. They need that oil. And so, therefore, it's not a choice of if they buy oil, they have to. They have to. And so, let's say they have to buy 10 million barrels of oil, okay? Before, let's just say a barrel of oil costs $1, just to make it very easy. They would spend $10 million on oil. They need that 10 million barrels. Now, if the price of oil doubles to $2 per barrel, now they have to spend $20 million per barrel. So they need $20 million. So they have more demand for those US dollars. And so therefore the dollar gets a lot stronger because every country wants to get a hold of those dollars so they can buy their necessary oil supply. Unless they've been stockpiling US dollars. So this increases the demand for US dollar, and so gold basically isn't as strong compared to the US dollar. And then also the fact of the market's trying to price in rate hikes, which is bad for gold as well. But these are all super interesting things to look at. So what I mean by hedging, which is a great point actually. So when I enter, a day trade or whatever it may be, I hold parts of that position. I always do. Okay, no matter what the position is, I always hold parts of that position. So this means I can end up with quite a large position. For example, last year I was holding a lot of buy positions. Okay, a lot of positions were just stacking up, and although the direction was very clear, buys on gold, it was very clear, I still was open to selling gold because I make money because I'm in loads of gold buy positions from further down. If gold drops from that level, I've hedged the risk, I'm in a sell position, I make money. And then I get out of that sell position when we're further down, and then we continue with the buy positions that I was already in further up. I'm basically hedging the risk and anticipating a small pullback there just to squeeze the most profit out of the position, basically. So yeah. It's so very important what's going on. So with regards to oil, so definitely need to keep an eye on that, and yeah. So let's get into. Let me just pull this. Let me just pull this up, guys. Boom. So let me just pull up the chat. By the way, guys, if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop a message and let me know. Boom. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, nice clouds. Hello, Kerry. Hello. Usman, it can be, but predominantly throughout the world, it's priced in US dollars. This is why a lot of countries need to have like US dollar reserves, etc. Uh, Good info, mate. Hopefully this dip, what for my sake, because I'm down 20% on gold. Every single cent of mine is in it. That's NVDH. That's overall gold always will trend to the upside, but these sort of short term pullbacks, it can pull back for months at a time. Just yeah, definitely be careful. Yusuf, no, it's nothing to do with gardening. Lee, I'm going to take a look at this after this because you and Lady H have mentioned it, but then others are saying they can't see it. So let me know. Full pull gold IRL. I don't know about that. But yeah, let me know if you do have any questions regarding gold, regarding dollar, regarding everything like that. Again, we are extremely bearish on gold right now for the reasons which I've outlined on this live. And this isn't something, I haven't just said after this recent pullback, I haven't just completely switched what I'm looking for. I have said gold is bearish for weeks now. You can go back on the live streams and see. I've been saying gold is bearish for a while now. And so yeah. But let's take a look at some areas we can look to sell gold to capitalize on that sort of regime shift and on these this larger pullback. Again, if you do have any questions, let me know. I'm putting my mortgage on gold. Oh no. Oh no. I feel like a lot of people did get caught up in the trap of gold will go up forever. Honestly, it was gold and silver it was like I got deja vu. It was the exact same as crypto. Bitcoin rallies a ton. Then everyone feels like they've missed Bitcoin. Ethereum rallies a ton. And then Ethereum crashes, gold crashes, and then we have a slow burn down. What happened with gold? Gold absolutely flew up. Everyone thought they missed it. Everyone got into silver. Silver went up by disgusting amounts, but a lot quicker. And then we had one of the biggest crashes in silver's history, I think since 1923 or something like this. And then it was a slow burn down from there. Again, there was a relief rally after where we came back up quite a lot. Everyone thought we're going to go to the all-time highs, this, that, and the other. And yeah, it was the exact same playbook which is used in crypto. It was very interesting. So yeah, Hainsey, I don't think so. Yeah, the bottom one's called Fu Manchu indicator. I use it for confirmations when entering trades. So yeah, let's get rid of VWAP. Let's move this volume profile over quite a bit. Then let's pull this fib from that high to this low. We already got a bounce off this 618 level, which was a very, very nice level. Got into a sell position there, which is particularly nice. And let's see what other levels we can mark up. Let's remove this so we can clearly see the top. Okay, 0.382. This level does look nice up here. So we got like a 0.886, 0.618. Boom. There we go. So golden pocket plus 0.886 plus point of control. Again, guys, if you've got any questions regarding trading, regarding anything like that, drop me a comment. I'll happily answer. And then if you haven't already checked out the private community linked on the YouTube description, in there, I do send through signals analysis, fundamental and technical courses. You gain access to the full community. Everything you need to profit in the trading space is included there. And it's free to join. So I definitely recommend taking a look at that. And this is a nice level to start off with. Very nice level. So why does gold bearish when US having issues with Iran. So I mean, there's a lot of detail we can go into that, but the main reason is because oil is going through the roof. Oil is priced in US dollars, and so therefore the US dollar gets really strong, and therefore gold comes down because gold's also priced in US dollars. So US dollar gets really strong. Gold doesn't get that strong, and so it comes back. And then also the anticipated rate cuts that were in the market at the end of 2025, they're now all but gone, and the market's pricing in a 50% chance of rate hikes. If rates go up and rates are hiked, then this reduces the inflationary hedging benefit of gold, and more yield favoring assets are better, are just seen as more favorable, and so capital flows into those rather than in gold. And so yeah. Nathan, no. When you say level to start, well, what do you mean level to start? So this is a level which I've got on. When we approach this level, I'll look for sell positions, and then I'll look to mark up maybe a couple more levels, maybe one more level up here, and yeah, that's it. But if there isn't a nice level, then I won't force it. And yeah, you need to obviously have reasoning behind your trades, and you should never enter a trade without at least understanding the reasoning, even if Nathan, even if it's a signal, you need to go through and you need to get your own bias and your own reasoning on the trade. I do think that is important as well. Oh yeah, if you are enjoying the live, double tap on the screen does help spread out the live, guys. Time London, what do you mean? Does that count as naked point of control on your sell level, Max? Yes, so good shout, actually. This isn't a point of control, this is a naked point of control. So, yeah, very nice. So you're looking at a level set. Exactly, Dylan, exactly. So my version of trading, the way I trade is very much, I don't do this. Like, I don't go do this or do this. I do, if this happens, do this. If this happens, do this. Overall, I think gold will come down for the reasons I outlined, and so I'm bearish on gold, and so I'm looking for sell positions. I'm not just going to randomly enter sells. I want to find areas where it's likely that gold will reverse. For example, this level here, which was an exact sell level, which I got into right here. You can see there. I got into that exact sell level there, took partials on it already. And so when we come up to these levels, I'll look to enter sell positions. When we go in the direction that's favorable for us, I'll look to take partials. I don't need to mark up a ton of levels though. I do really like this level. Maybe one more level above. We'll see what will line up. Yes, Dylan, these lives do get saved. Oh. Time, I am not. I actually do. I'm actually back in the UK for a limited period of time. I do normally live in Dubai. If you've watched the YouTube channel for a while, then yeah. And I'm not actually in my parents' house. I'm just outside of London right now. And the reason I'm in the attic of this house, which is actually, I'm not going to say what type of room I'm in, but I'm in. It's a very nice house, and it's because I get better signal because it's a bit out in the countryside, a bit out of the way in London. So yeah. But Time London, drop me a message and I'll happily send you anything you need. I'm trying to find a good area to. What was that? I'm trying to find a good area to sell for gold to Mars because the US PMI manufacturers news probably going to spike it down a little bit. Yeah, well, it depends. Depends what goes on with that, and I do think not looking to. I don't look to trade around news, so I'm gonna mark up the levels. If we hit them over news, then I very rarely take them. I don't really trade over news. And then if we do move away and we do spike down, like you've said, for news before hitting the level, then I'm just going to have to miss the trade, unfortunately. So issues doesn't weaken a currency that it represents as long as it trades in that currency. I think my fundamental's wrong. I thought any issues a country have will lower their currency value. What issues are they having though? Like the US isn't having any issues. There's no issues with the US. If anything, this whole thing's good for the US. If they control the Strait of Hormuz, then they've effectively got a leash on China and Russia. Which is pretty good for them. Oil spiking up is also, it's denominated in USD, so it's good, but also it's more expensive for the US, so it's not so good. So there's pros and cons. There's a lot of pros and cons. So it's not to do with the country necessarily facing issues. There's a lot of nuance to it. Red Bull stunts. This is gold, XAU USD. Unfortunate clouts. Time London, I make an alright amount. I was long in EU because it was at the bottom of a descending channel that I saw. Then I saw the market suddenly spiked up. I thought it was hallucinating. Then it came back. It was up 100 pips. Yeah, Cade. So again, I dropped some analysis in yesterday, but I do think longer term, the Euro USD is a bullish pair, and it is a good time to look for positioning for buys on Euro USD. I dropped my analysis in the private group regarding that. If you want me to go over that again here, then I can. So yeah, and I do find it interesting as well regarding how much you make a day. When I was starting to like make money, it was like, how much do you make a year? Like I remember when I was younger, and it was like, like how much do you make a year? Like everyone looked at their income per year. Then everyone was looking at their income per month. Then everyone's looking at their income per week, and now everyone's looking at income per day. Everyone needs to like zoom out, especially with trading. It doesn't matter what you make per day. It matters if you're up at the end of the month, end of the year. That's what actually matters. Especially seeing as though I'm in the UK, I'm not gonna reveal stuff like that. Yeah, sometimes I show little bits of sort of how much money I'm trading with and what I'm sort of doing, but overall I'm not, because it attracts the wrong crowd. So yeah. I'm looking for sells. Red Bull, I'm currently in sell positions on gold, and I'm looking for further sell positions as well. How do you get the program for the graph you are using? Alan, so this is Trading View. So this is a pretty gold standard trading software. You can type it in online. It's called Trading View. London. So A, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to reveal how much money I make. B, I don't want to attract that type of crowd. And C, I have no idea. Not only do I trade, I run multiple different businesses in the UK and mainly in Dubai. So I have no idea. So, and some days I'll lose money. A lot of money, unfortunately. True. It sounds like you work for HMRC. Enemy in disguise. Can you explain why you placed the fib where you did, please? Clout, so this fib to get this level here, I just took it from the normal high. Like, this is the obvious high. If I was to tell you where, like, if I was to say mark up the highs on this chart, the only high really is this one. Like, it's just the obvious place to pull a fib from. And then same with this one up here, is if I were to tell you where to pull a fib from, the high before this massive move down is why I pulled the fib from there. It's the high before this massive move down. So yeah. Let me move this. Yes, Plague. So naked point of control is from this range here. So we can see this a session volume profile well, this isn't a session volume profile HT, this fixed volume range profile. So this is a volume profile across this price action here. The highest volume node of that range, which is this red line here, which is the point of control. Again, the highest volume node in that range there. When we broke out of that range, we haven't yet come back up and retested that. So it's a point of control. And the fact that we haven't retested it means it's a naked point of control. I'm going to quickly mark up. Do you then pull? It's the very low. Exactly, Clouts. Exactly. Ben, I might have to start making that much if I'm in the UK any longer. I need to. I can't be in the UK too much longer. Sure. If the US is most definitely able to handle Iran like 100%. If the US wanted to, they could wipe out half of the globe. It's nothing to do with capabilities. It's to do with the fact that I mean, not getting political or anything, but they don't want to wipe out the entire country of Iran. And so they're trying to do it in a diplomatic way, kind of, not to get political. And so they could wipe out Iran and stop everything like that. But they're trying to do it in like the best way possible. It's nothing to do with Iran. Iran can't lose this war. And plus, I think it's naive to see a lot of people saying, oh yeah, US is going to lose this, that, and the other. In wars, there's no winners and there's no losers. That's not how war works. And so I think that's an important one. US's military capabilities, they literally cannot lose this war. So yeah, and it's nothing bad is happening to the US from this. 90 days ticking, exactly, Harry. Usman, I am actually within the next 2 weeks. I will be in Switzerland at some point. I'll keep you guys updated though. So yeah, I don't know what dates I'm going to be there, but I do need to be there sometime in the next 2 weeks. So yeah. Usman, I am actually I'm not kidding when I say this. In the next 2 weeks, I'm going to I have to go to Lyon in France, Monaco, and then Switzerland. So yeah. What did Ben say? Oh yeah, I appreciate that, Ben. Monaco sounds lovely. Yeah, it should be nice. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I haven't been to this place, the Lyon one. Uh, is Yeah, it is. It's in East Central France. Oh, I thought you meant Leon, as in Leon. That's funny. I haven't been there before, so that should be interesting. I won't be there. Well, I can't be there long, so yeah. Who said that to begin with? That was good. Whoever said that was smart. That was really good. Are demo funded accounts realistic? Do they hold the same rules as just the regular funded accounts? Are they extra heading rules? Clouts. So any funded account is on simulated funds. Again, any funded account, you are not trading on live capital. You are trading in a demo environment, on simulated funds, and so that's how prop firms work. And so yeah. Okay, I look forward to it then. So yeah, Clouts. Let me know if you got any more questions regarding that, mate, because I feel like there's a few questions there. I hope not. France can be quite a dangerous place without. I know a few people going back to what Time London said, people say about people being kidnapped. There are people predominantly in the trade and in the crypto space, but there are more people than you think, a lot more people than you think, who have had family members or themselves being kidnapped and being held ransom for crypto. You never hear about it on the news because they get the ransom, and then they basically say, look, you're not getting this crypto back. It's impossible for you to get this crypto back. And if you do try and get it back, we'll release this, this, and this. And so basically the person's in the situation where they cannot get their money back. So there's no point in trying. And there's a lot of cases like this. So people don't realize how risky the world can be. And I know a few cases of this in France. Scary shit. Yeah, exactly. There's one person who most of you will know who this has happened to. Obviously, I'm not going to say who it is, but there's someone who a lot of you will know. If I say their name, a lot of you will know. And yeah, it's crazy. I know not a lot, but I know a few people who this has happened to in loads of different countries. And so yeah, you need to be careful. Darren, I don't know, to be fair. France is dangerous. Yeah, yeah. I mean, everywhere's got that type of place. I'm gonna skip through there and get to Monaco ASAP. So you shouldn't tell anyone your earnings or brag about wealth. 100%, Katie. 100%. And unfortunately or fortunately, to anyone watching this, I have left all of my belongings in Dubai, either in apartments or in safes or whatever. I am a broke man in the UK. I have nothing of value. So yeah, let me just go about my business, please. So if it's not real capital, how do the brokers benefit from this, and why would they send payouts, assuming it's because of the fail rate, if that makes sense? Yes, Clouts. So there's a few things which are important with prop firms and with funded accounts. So there's a lot to go over with this, but there's a lot of sketchy prop firms and sketchy funded accounts, and what they do is very simple. The amount of money they earn through you buying a prop firm account is this amount. That's their revenue, okay? Take away their marketing expense, and the amount that they pay out traders is their profit. The less they spend on payouts, the more money they make. That is how a lot of sketchy prop firms run, and that's the traditional prop firm model. Now, the good prop firm model, and how a lot of prop firms do tend to operate, is they earn money from the challenge, which is still their revenue, but they also earn money through selling your trading data to whatever firms and making money on that trading data. This is why certain prop firms can make money in the long term, even on someone who makes money on their prop firm. Like, even though they're not actually executing them trades on the live market, they can still make money through those trades because they're selling that data, or even if they're very good, utilizing that data on their own. And now they can't execute your trades exactly, because that would mean they're a broker, and prop firms do not want to be brokers because brokers have more stringent licensing and stringent regulatory they're basically looked at under a magnifying glass by regulators, whereas prop firms are like in that grey area, and so they don't need all those licenses, etc., 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 and they can be a bit sketchy. And so prop firms don't want to do that. And so what they tend to do is, instead of just passing your trades to the live market, they've got to like loophole it, let's say. There's the prop firm business is a pretty crazy space. But see how it works. Very smart from them. Let's live how business works. Yeah, 100%. I do think it's very, very interesting. Again, a lot of prop firms do work quite sketchily, but they can have legitimate, like, work as a legitimate business, pay out those who profit, if they're utilizing that data on the back end effectively, and that's where it comes to, and so yeah, okay. Lady H, no, 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 no. I will never go in a helicopter. Helicopters scare me too much. Honestly, I'm nervous on flying, so helicopters not so much. Um, would love to drive to Monaco in my RS4. I have to win a few more trades first. That would be amazing, Plague. I do think, in the future, not right now, things are too busy, but a few years time, I think it would be an amazing thing to get like a supercar and drive around Europe. That would be really, really, really cool. But just obviously driving, it's very intensive, very tiring. So would need to free up the schedule. He wouldn't even let me go 70 mile an hour. Never mind a helicopter flying about. Yeah, helicopters would. I don't know. Helicopter would really scare me. If you can go in a helicopter, you got more balls than me. By the way, guys, if you do enjoy the live stream, double tapping the screen does help spread out the live more, and I do appreciate it. Guys. Plague, yeah, a few people haven't had any, and then a few people have had some. So it seems like it depends on the user. I'm never flying a helicopter, way too cautious. Yeah, I agree, Yusuf. No, I'm just not doing that. Maybe when I'm older and like, no, I'm sorry, I'm just not. Like, I tried to maybe sound a bit on the, yeah, no, it's just not happening. I'm not doing that. Yeah, skydiving. We've been over that. I'm never skydiving. Like, you've just got no chance. You've just got no chance. I might sponsor, if any members of the group, we want to do like a sort of a charity day in the group, and we sponsor a few members to go jump out of planes. I think we sponsor Yusuf to jump out of a plane, to be honest. Then I'm happy with that. But in terms of me, yeah, no chance. No chance. What's that, Darren? Fairly strict rules. They do. The one thing with FTMO is it's not called a consistency rule, it's a gambling rule, they call it. And so basically, if they consider your strategy gambling, so it's completely up to them. They can deny your payout, they can ban your account, they can do whatever. It's completely up to them. And so, yeah. From me personally, I've seen a lot of FTMO can be very good, but I know people personally who have been banned from them, and I mean flat out banned, and they're extremely good traders, like world class traders. So you just need to be careful. There's pros and cons to everything. Nothing is perfect, and I say that full on. Skydiving is goated, yeah. You can go skydiving, Ben. Sponsor Ben Manager to go skydiving. I think that's next on the list. Declining payouts. Yeah, Jordan, again, there's no perfect firm. There are pros and cons to every single firm. And the prop firm way of trading, it is just that. It's a prop firm way of trading. You do have to trade differently on a live account, on a prop firm account, to what you would trade on a live account. You do have to take certain things into consideration. And so it can be amazing to scale capital, but keep in mind, you can scale capital relatively quickly on a live account as well. But still, fund accounts, there is a time, there is a place, and they can be very, very good, but you need to be aware of the pros and cons of them. I've been testing a few trades as in my first week. I've noticed taking positions on gold, the profit loss goes up quicker than other trading foreign. Is that to do with the pips? Yes, Tom. So lots are basically bigger on gold. So for example, if you take a one lot trade on gold, like your trade's going to be going up and down like by hundreds of pounds, okay? Whereas if you take a one lot trade on Euro USD, it's barely going to move. And so you've got to be careful with that. And this is why you've noticed something very important there, Tom. And that is why using a set lot size on every single trade is terrible risk management, Because if you're risking, let's say 0.1 lots on every single trade, 0.1 lot on gold is a lot. Is a sizable amount, okay? Whereas 0.1 lots on Euro USD is not a sizable amount. Lot is a very difficult word to work with. And so you need to adjust those lot sizes depending on the trade and depending on your stop loss size and depending on the pair that you're trading. Using a set lot size per trade is terrible risk management. It's not very good at all. Because Darren, you can't manage risk effectively. You just can't. Sure, if there's a few things to look for, and this is something which is I do give my fundamental analysis now inside the private group each week, each day, and so members know exactly fundamentally where gold should be going. And also I'm going to be releasing this software in the private group as well, which does give a daily report on gold, and so this is what we're looking at on gold, and we can see 9 out of 10 bearish. And this analysis is posted inside the private group each day. And it's not just, you look at one thing for a fundamental outlook. You need to look at everything to get basically a bird's eye view of the economic environment, pair things together, and then come up with a bias from there. So yeah. Darren, I mean, you can't manage risk effectively. On a £100 account, if you're risking £20 in each trade, you have 4 or 5 losses in a row and you've blown the account. That isn't trading. Trading is nothing more than calculated risk. That is trading. Trading is calculated risk using an edge over time. Most of trading is risk management. If you're starting off with not as much capital, then you can't manage risk. And not only that, with a few losses, you've blown the account. You've lost 100% equity. That isn't good. On top of that, you can't have multiple positions open because then you're over-risking. So then it limits your ability to take partials. It limits your ability to hold partials. It limits your ability to take profits off the table and move your stop loss to break even. These are all key things a profitable trader needs in their arsenal. And with you not being able to do that with a £100 account, you're limiting yourself. And basically, it means it's exponentially harder for you to profit. So you're starting with one arm, which isn't good. I want you to start with the best chance at making the most money. Conservative. Yeah, definitely. Being conservative is very, very important, and not being too aggressive. I think if you look, if you zoom out and just look at how compound interest works, then you don't need to rush. Like, you really, really don't. Human brains only work in a linear fashion. Humans find it very difficult to see exponential growth. Like, humans just, we are innately terrible at seeing exponential growth. Humans just don't do it. It doesn't work. And so, like, you will find it difficult to understand how good exponential growth can be, and how a few percent a month, a few percent even a year is absolutely amazing. You don't need to over risk on the trades and everything. XPR, man, you don't be doing that, man. I appreciate it, but you definitely you don't need to be doing that, XPR. Liana, there's no set lot size that I'd recommend per pound amount. Again, you should, in my opinion, you should risk a set pound amount per trade. For example, if you want to risk 2% of your account, then risking £20 on each trade on that £1,000 account, and then each month, each week, whatever, each day, you decide what pound amount you're going to be risking. So then you're not risking £10 in this trade, £50 in this trade, £80 in this trade, etc., etc., etc. There's no set lot size that works. XVR's a beast. Compounding is widely regarded as the 8th wonder of the world. I completely agree with that. I like that. Should I wait and watch market now, sir? Jesus bless. I appreciate that, Vipin. Over-risking is never a good idea. Stop loss and good management is key. Also, no random trades. Good confluence always. 100% Yusuf, 100%. Again, guys, to finish up, this level, I'm looking for sell positions. I'm probably going to add a few more sell positions once Asia opens, and then obviously in the morning tomorrow. And then my overall bias is gold will continue to the downside. I am bearish on gold for the reasons outlined previously on the live stream, and then also I've put in the private group as well why I'm bearish on gold. But I think XAUUSD will continue to the downside fundamentally, and I will be looking for sell positions at key levels, which I've highlighted, this key level being the main one so far. So when we come up to this level, I will look for sell positions from that level. I am still in sell positions from earlier on. You can see I'm in this position here, which is currently up $15,000. I've taken a large amount of partials off that position, and I'll continue to ride those sell positions to the downside and hold partials from them. Anyway, guys, I hope everyone enjoyed the live. I think it was a really good live tonight. I've really enjoyed it. I think there's some brilliant value there. And if you do have any further questions, if you're in the private group, at me in the Discord. And if you're not in the private group, just message me on Telegram and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So see you in a bit, guys. Take care. Have an amazing night. And I wish you the best of luck the rest of this week at the charts. And yeah. Anyway, guys, take care. See you all in a bit. Where is this? There we go. See you in a bit, XPR, and I appreciate the I don't know what to call it, the tip. You definitely don't need to do that, XPR, though, but I appreciate it. See you in a bit, Julie, Jason, Lotus, Doug, DZ, Yusuf, Jordan, Ton, Alan, Clout, Clint, XPR, Tom, Katie, Gaz, Julie, Ram, Sharif, Clouts, Jordan, who else? Craig, Damien, Leanne, Plague, Tom, Nathan, Dylan, Harburn. Wow, we had a lot of people on tonight, which is amazing to see. Clouts, take care, guys. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll catch up.